with the topics, factor analysis on customer intention to use rooftop solar panel in Indonesia. So, we're to Mr. Parwiradi. We have 15 minutes left for your session, so please use it wisely.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you,
please,
Mr.
Mr.
Bayaki.
Ready.
First of all, would like to ask if you hear my voice clearly or not.
Yes, I can hear it
Okay,
clearly.
another thing is that I would like to share my screen. However, I cannot start my share screen without you stop the share screen first. Okay,
Okay.
okay, yep. Okay, next. Is my screen shown properly already?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you for the opportunity to present this research that we conduct earlier. So basically, today I would like to deliver my talk on the research entitled Determining Factor Affecting Customer Intention to Use Rooftop Solar PV in Indonesia. So this research is quite related with several talk that delivered earlier when Mr. Adit, Mr. Wahyu told us about the importance of renewables energy and what we have here in Indonesia. So I have 5 parts for this talks, and to make it like fast, I would like just directly start with the introductions. So, without repeating several facts that's already been stated by the previous talks, so I just want to emphasize that, yeah, it's true that we have a vast renewable energy potential, especially solar energy potentials, like mentioned in these previous researchers in 2021. However, this research also mentioned that our renewable energy potentials is not yet fully harnessed. So in this study, we are going to address that why not many households are already implement the potential or apply the solar PV or install solar PV in their house. And what makes these potentials source of energy have the intentions to utilize this solar PV in their households. So customer intention is a very abstract concept, right? So it's difficult to measure because it's related to human behavior, consumer behavior. So what I can apply here to somehow measure those intention is basically using several social science research frameworks in which we are adopting 2 frameworks that we use to help us as a researchers to analyze what are really the factors affecting those behavioral intention. Here we have 2 very well-known frameworks in social science research. One called the Unified Technology Acceptance of Use of Technology, because we think that, okay, even though that it's not IT information system technology, it's solar PV also technology that driven our industry today. Another thing is theory related to plant behavior models. So in these 2 theory, by combining these 2 theory, it would lead to a very good analysis that can help us what really affects those peoples to really have intention at least to apply or install solar PV. Okay, the categorization, as you can see in the slides, have 2: the attitude and the perceived behavioral controls. I would not have time to explain very much in detail what are those, but somehow let me give you a brief introduction on how we conduct the experiment. So we create a questionnaire So all of those factors we will measure based on these questionnaires, and it is being spread last year, I guess, to at least 1,000 participants, but only 200 of it returns the the survey. And basically we analyze whether this questionnaire is already enough to represent the solar energy market in Indonesia, so that we have some kind of consistency checking, reliability checking for the questionnaires. So this is the demography of the respondents. And then this is the draft, not the draft, the questionnaire itself. Each of the factors have questions that's already being how to say, that adopted from the previous researcher as well. So basically all those theory have their guidelines on how to measure those factors itself. And then yeah, we have I think about 8 factors, so each factors about 3 or 4 questionnaires. And okay, now I don't want to go in depth for the statistics, but what basically we have done here first is that you need to make sure your questionnaire is reliable to measure those factors, right? So there are several ways to measure that one. We use the Cronbach alpha. Those are the measurement for those the reliability, and the composite reliability itself, and the AVE or average variance extracted. Based on this, we see that several questionnaires perhaps not suitable to measure those the factors, those constructs, so that we will delete several questionnaires that not really able to measure it properly. And then after that we reanalyze the models. This part is to measure that whether the model that we are using is already fit to measure those behavioral intention or not. So in this case there is several way, there are several, we call it performance measurement for the models, or good or fit measurements, as you see on the bottom left tables. So basically all of those have their minimum cutoff to show that whether this model is adequate enough to be being used for analysis or not. Another one is that based on the final models that we generate, we can now really analyze which factor is significant and which one is not. So it's all of it is already being described on the top left tables. So to make it easier to understand, we put it into paragraph. So basically, okay, we have two cluster of behavioral factors that that is being described into to be able to describe the behavioral intention, which is attitude toward use. It means that how the user perceive their attitude into if they are positive in using solar PV or not. Okay, another is how they think they are in control on those technology. Okay, perceived behavioral controls. So and based on that one, we see that yeah, attitude toward use has a significant positive relationship to the behavioral intentions, and among the factors affecting those attitude, one of the most significant one is the price sensitivity or price value of the technology. So in order to able to adopt the technology for Indonesian market, price is a very sensitive issue that we need to address first. Like another thing like effort, social influence, facilitating conditions, and another things have effects, but it's not really significant. Okay, so based on this, we generated into a managerial perspective implications. So we think that several company that's trying to approach Indonesian market, especially for the solar PV, perhaps for Infineons, Mr. Adit that earlier presents, one of the concerns is the pricing strategy. We need to really find a pricing strategy that really fit with the consumer characteristics and category. Perhaps mentioning that what will be the benefit that they can get in how many years, that going to be deciding factors for a customer in Indonesia in order to take action, have the intention to use the technology. Okay, so basically to wrap up my presentations, I can say that this study have been conduct to analyze behavioral intention on how Indonesian market going, what kind of factors affecting Indonesian consumer to use the solar PV technology. And the result, as mentioned earlier, one of the most critical factor is the price value. And for the future study, I think we can adopt these frameworks not only to describe the current condition, but also to predict which customer is going to use the technology, which customer is not going to use the technology based on their characteristics of the resulted by the survey. I think, yeah, that's all my presentations. I return it back to the moderator. Thank you very much.